Coming up on show 681, does the Cybertruck force Rivian to lower their prices? Okay, we'll find out more. Stick around. Plus, European registrations of EVs in December through the roof. Audi could have some production issues with the E-TRON. We'll dig into that. New prices for a plug-in Mercedes and the Honda E reviews have all hit the internet. Well, good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you're listening around the world. Welcome to EV News Daily, middle of the week, Wednesday 29th of January. My name is Martyn Lee. I go through every EV story that I can possibly find. There's hundreds every day. And I try and bring you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stories, depending on how much I waffle. It's always under 15-20 minutes, and I know that, you probably don't have several hours a day to sift through EV news and filter out what's a press release and what's actually the news that you need to know. So next time you're talking to someone about an EV, or just so that you feel that you're up to date and that you haven't missed out on news that otherwise would have passed you by. It's why, if you want to listen every day, you can to this podcast, which comes to you thanks to myev.com. They're building a website all about buying and selling EVs and learning about them in the USA. Also organising a big event at Basecamp Miami, February 8th. Want to go? Be quick. RSVP to get yourself some goodies, some Evernex, organised by Inside EVs and myev.com. Some amazing speakers, those people that you watch YouTube videos of in the EV world. Yep, they're all going to be there. Check out the URL evsandtea.com. Well, Audi is making some personnel changes at their Brussels plant, where the E-TRON quattro is made. The jobs of 145 temporary workers will be put on hold, pressing pause on those in the worst case. It could threaten up to 250 employees, says Chris at Electrive, with info coming from 2 German articles and 1 French article translated. Where the Belgian news agency Belga broke the news, they cited difficulties of a supplier to deliver parts needed for the installation of the batteries in the Audi E-TRON as the reason for Audi letting the temporary workers go. The Belgian newspaper L'Echo, however, becomes more specific, and they presume the supply issue concerns the battery cells. They implicate LG Chem in particular. The production of the Audi E-TRON in Brussels is going to be reduced by 4,000 odd to just under 6,000 vehicles in the first quarter. That's 2,000 a month. Wow. So again, there's some English translation of German and French articles, and there's nothing definite here. So always be careful with this. But considering that an Audi spokesman, Peter de Hoor, said this, and I quote, "We are facing an unexpected situation and have taken measures to stabilise supplies," end quote. Given that Audi have made comment and responded to the press stories, I would be inclined to think there's some truth to this, even if the numbers might be slightly off. The e-tron as well, the 2 e-trons, 55 and e-tron 50, both fabulous EVs. Not always, I'll occasionally take some heat from Tesla fans for saying they're wonderful EVs, and they'll point at the range and how heavy they are and how inefficient they are, and say, "Oh, I think you'll find that they're much worse than a Tesla." They're very, very different to a Model X. I love the Model X. It is a toy. It's a big computer, and it makes me smile. But the Audi e-tron, oh my goodness, that is a nice place to be. And it charges quickly, so if you are in Europe and you've got these high-powered chargers, not so much in the UK yet, but if you're doing some long road trips, when I've sat inside an e-tron, it's a very, very comfortable place to do many hundreds of miles in an EV. It's just a real piece of luxury. I love it. It's my favourite. If I had the money, I'd buy one. Because I don't do 700 miles. I don't need a Tesla Model X. It's lovely. I just can't make enough of them at the moment. Okay, moving on. And the lead story today, has the Cybertruck changed Rivian's plans? I wonder. Rivian displayed its pickup truck and SUV, the R1T and the R1S, at an event in San Francisco's Bay Area over the weekend. But this is interesting. They did say, this is new information to me, that when their prices are unveiled, they are going to be lower than they'd previously said. According to a Reuters report, Rivian founder and chief exec RJ Scaringe told Reuters that the mid-range R1T, that's the truck, with a glass sky panel that can change from blue to clear, would be just under $70,000. It'll do 300 miles on a full charge, and the R1S, the SUV, is going to be about $72,000. But there will be lower prices when they finally unveil them for lower models. And that's new. And that's the first time they've said that, to my knowledge, since the Cybertruck was unveiled. Has the Cybertruck forced Rivian to lower their prices? Because look, the Cybertruck base model does 250 plus. That's the spec at the minute. 250 plus. £7,500 plus. 0 to 60, less than 6.5 seconds. And it's $39,900. The next model, the mid-model, dual motor, 300 plus miles, same as the Rivian, 10,000 plus pounds of towing, and 0 to 60 in less than 4.5 seconds, $49,900. Again, so much cheaper than those prices that we were hearing for the Rivian. Obviously, Rivian would have looked at the Cybertruck and thought, well, styling-wise, very, very different. Will our customers want something more conventional? They got their party tricks like the tank turns and stuff, but the pricing was always so much more than Cybertruck. I wonder. Okay, moving on. European registrations of EVs have surged in December. And did you buy a Tesla Model 3 in December? Because you helped it get to a very special position. Electrified vehicles emerged as a big winner in December in the European market. Now, the numbers have all been tallied. Demand soared by 69%, equating to 132,200 units, 11% market share of electrified, not electric, vehicles. The Tesla Model 3, though, was getting all the headlines today for the most exciting performer for December. The last month of the year saw in Europe 22,100 Model 3s sold, and that makes it the third best-selling car. The third best-selling car was electric. It beat the VW Polo, the Peugeot 208, Nissan Qashqai, Skoda Octavia, all popular cars. Its volume made up 43% of pure electric registrations, but it wasn't the only star amongst the electric cars. The E-TRON was the third best-selling pure electric, and the Kona and MG's SEV were both in the top 10. EVs are closing the gap at an impressive rate when compared to diesel cars. In December 18, so you go back a year, 4.6 diesel cars for every EV sold. Fast forward 1 year, and it's 2.9 diesel cars sold for every EV. Most of the progress has been really down to pure electric cars, and much of that, again, Tesla Model 3, outselling hybrid vehicles, pure plug-in, pure electric cars outselling hybrids for the first time that I know of. Okay, moving on. And the Mercedes plug-in hybrid, the GLC 300. It's an SUV, mid-size SUV, now on sale in SUV and coupe forms in the UK, starting at just under £50,000, and for the SUV, the coupe, about £52,500, says carbuyer.co.uk. The 20th electrified model that Mercedes-Benz have brought to markets, and of course they got their full electric, the EQC. The GLC 300's gas powertrain is borrowed from the E-Class and the E-Class hybrid, actually. So a 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol and an electric motor on a 120 brake horsepower motor. 29 miles of range is okay. 13.5 kilowatt hour battery is okay. It's not market leading, but it's respectable. And it's a nice car. I mean, it's a nice car. Nice couple of cars. Wow. And staying with Mercedes-Benz, according to Next Green Car website, today Mercedes-Benz officially launched the E-Vito with prices and specifications for the UK. 93 miles. 93 miles on a full charge. You can get it in 2 lengths, 40,000 and 40,500 pounds for the 2 versions. Both those prices are ex VAT, by the way. And there's also an £8,000 grant for commercial vehicles, so you can take that $8,000 off the prices that I just gave you. And the battery is not a biggie, 41 kilowatt hours, but, you know, for a van, 35 kilowatt hours usable, combined range of 93 miles. If you're driving around towns and cities, maybe the e-Vito will be a van that is useful. So, the embargo seems to have been lifted. All of a sudden, at the same time, all of the big car journalist reviewers released their YouTube videos of the Honda E. Oh, speaking of which, by the way, you see that Johnny Smith has left fully charged. All very amicably, by the way. And I saw him release a video to say that he's doing his own thing on his own channel, Car Pervert, and he wants to do things, you know, classic cars, car modifications, restorations, a lot of EV stuff, but not purely EV, just everything, you know, bikes, 2, 3, 4 wheels, everything that he likes to do. But part of that means that he was leaving fully charged. A big shame, actually. I really like Johnny Smith on fully charged. I think he adds a different thing. I love what fully charged are doing at the moment with people like Maddie Moat, who is a television presenter, doing a series of getting into EVs, like an introductory series, and you can see that's the way, you know, that they're taking fully charged. It's becoming the voice of this, not just in this country, but around the world as well. And part of that is obviously to bring in that curve of discovery. New people need to come in and you know, what's this all about? What's a kilowatt hour? I'm guessing you and I are not at that level, and that's why I used to love Johnny's videos, because he was always a bit more in depth, a bit nerdy, and I got the sense that wasn't the direction of fully charged anymore. So I understand why that's happened, but good that he's going to carry on, and obviously fully charged is a beast of a thing, and he does so many wonderful things. They'll be making tons of videos as always. But anyway, a quick sidebar if you hadn't seen the news. But Johnny put a video up on his own YouTube channel. This is hence my digression. It wasn't on the fully charged channel. It came up on his that I saw. Okay, right, this is a bit weird. And then I found out the news. He loves it very much. With the Honda E, the Japanese manufacturer aiming to offer the closest automotive interpretation of an iPhone on wheels, it's very high tech. According to the reviewers who had the chance to try it out in Spain at the official press launch, yeah, it wasn't the best. Honda, says Inside EVs, claims it'll do 137 miles, that's 220 Ks, on a battery pack of 35.5 kilowatt hours. However, it was a cold day in Spain and a bit rainy as well, and one of the reviewers said that the car's range meter, when it was fully charged, showed 75 miles. That's not a mistake. I did double check what I was reading. That's kind of weird. 75 miles on a 35 kilowatt hour battery pack? No, surely not. But anyway, it was the only negative really about the car. The reviewers love it. It's up there with the Mini Cooper SE that's coming, and the Honda E looks like it's going to be a great little car for the city. And staying with the Honda, a mix of nostalgia and good old marketing made the Mini Cooper a phenomenon, a tiny car that didn't line up with what automakers thought they knew that US drivers wanted. Well, the Mini became so difficult to purchase in places like California without being price gouged by a dealer that people had friends who would buy them in different places to save money, and on the markups that came with the demand, argues Car and Driver website today. The Honda E could do the same. The Honda E could generate that sort of buzz and demand in the USA, but Honda won't take the chance. The love affair with the SUV just isn't going away in the USA. There is a subset of buyers who do desire something different, though, from a big box on wheels. But we'll never know if the Honda E could be a success in the USA, because Honda won't take a chance and bring it to the US. Instead, they've sent the Clarity EV, a boring sedan with an okay interior. Shares its platform with a fuel cell vehicle and a plug-in hybrid. It's the four-wheeled equivalent of a yawn, says Car and Driver. And I couldn't agree more. The Honda E is such a stylish-looking car. Why wouldn't any urban EV fan in the US want to drive one? Why do you just presume that if someone lives in America, they want a Ford F-150 or a big SUV. Yeah, lots of people do. But there is a gap in the market. Never mind, it won't be going to the US. Finally, Seat has launched the brand new Seat Leon, with a plug-in hybrid option for the very first time. It's the Spanish bit of VW, and it's going to have a 37-mile range on a single charge. It's going to be called an e-hybrid. According to Chris at Next Green Car, shares its traits with the new VW Golf 1.4-litre petrol engine and an electric motor combined. Power going through a 6-speed DSG transmission and a 13 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Not bad, not bad. Always a good option for a little car like the Seat Leon, basically like the size of a Golf, to come with a plug socket. And I imagine a little bit cheaper than an equivalent VW. All right, question of the week time now. If I could change one thing, or maybe add one thing with this podcast, with EV News Daily, what would it be? Let me know. Email me hello@evnewsdaily.com. Leave a comment on socials or the YouTube comments. So there's 213, no, haha, dyslexic moment there. 231 patrons of the podcast. My premium partners, Phil Roberts of Electric Future, Brad Crosby, personal supporter, and Avid Technology, all premium partners. And thank you to everyone who makes this show happen. There are 680 previous shows in the archive, and the new ones come at you first and free and automatically if you hit subscribe in your podcast app. Have a wonderful day. Catch you tomorrow. And remember, even the Norwegians agree there's no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.